Kings. Would this Dallas season that's had so many ups and mostly downs come to an end? Very definitively no. Klay Thompson was having none of that. He went nuts on the road in the second quarter. Klay Thompson in the second quarter in Sacramento last night scored 16 points. He was 5 for 5 from the floor. That one gave the Mavs a 14-point lead. Then it's Anthony Davis getting in on the act. Mavs by 20. Next Dallas possession, same score. It's AD again. Davis and Thompson combined for 24 points in the quarter. They outscored the Kings by themselves. They open a 23-point lead, and they really never look back. Fourth quarter, it's a 16-point game. That's Klay again. He would score 23. Midway through the fourth, Mavs put it away. Anthony Davis, 27-9. It's been a tough couple of months, but it was a real good night for the Mavs. They got one more shot to try and make the field. The Kings go home. Mavs will play the Grizzlies on Friday. Winner will go on to face OKC in the playoffs. History is against Dallas. No 10th place team has ever made the playoffs since the current play-in format was adopted 5 seasons ago. For what it's worth, Memphis won 3 of 4 head-to-head meetings this year, though one of those was the final game of the season and pretty much nobody played. So we'll see what happens on Friday. We'll show you the East game a little bit later. Let's go to the NFL. Hey, Shefty, we are exactly a week from round 1 of the NFL draft. Let's run the hurry up. Tennessee is at number 1. We think we know what they're doing. You tell us.
Well, Greeny, those chimes are music to everybody's ears. And the Titans are on the clock, and the pick is expected to be Cam Ward, barring some last-minute unforeseen offer rolling into Tennessee. The Titans are looking for their quarterback of the future. They believe Cam Ward is their quarterback of the future, and they look like they're going to be building around their program around that quarterback, which then would take us to the number 2 pick and the Cleveland Browns. Can we hear more chimes, please? The Browns will be on the clock, and there are signs that point to Travis Hunter right now. Abdul Carter obviously squaring the conversation. Hunter, Carter regarded as the 2 best players in this draft. The Browns will be in a position to get one of them. And then we'll hear more chimes at maybe the most intriguing pick early in the draft, the New York Giants. They are in Boulder today to work out Shedeur Sanders. They'll be in Alabama tomorrow to work out Jalen Milroe. They'll be in Louisville on Saturday to work out Tyler Shuck. So if you're doing all these quarterback workouts a week before the draft, that tells you that you must be interested in a quarterback. But which one and where are the big questions? And there is no bigger question and storyline leading into this draft than where Shedeur Sanders go. And there is not a team out there that's put more time and effort into Shedeur Sanders than the New York Giants. They might as well have just taken out an Airbnb in Boulder all year and had the entire organization living out of there. But they've done so much work. It continues today, and I think today is critical in deciding if they want to move in a direction for Shedeur Sanders and where they want to get him in the draft.
So you use an expression all the time that I like, which is getting cute. All right, the Giants are picking at 3, and there's all this speculation they would like to have their cake and eat it too. They would like to take either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter at 3 and still find a way to get their quarterback going down the road. But I've seen you on a million shows and conversations saying if they like Shedeur Sanders that much, then are you getting cute and you're taking the risk on all kinds of things that might happen behind them, which is my way of asking you, what will your reaction be a week from tonight if the 3rd pick in the draft is Shedeur Sanders to the Giants? Will you be shocked?
Well, here's the interesting part about this to me. You're on the phone all day.
Yeah.
Yesterday, spoke to a lot of respected, knowledgeable people. There was one person I spoke to who said, the Giants, cut it out, the Giants are going to be taking Shedeur Sanders at number 3. And I went, wow, here we go. And then in the very next conversation with an even more knowledgeable person, the person says, there's no way the Giants are taking Shedeur Sanders at number 3. So what are you to believe? You're hearing it all. And my sense is that there's absolute interest in the organization in Shedeur Sanders. I think they're trying to build a little bit of a consensus here because not everybody is on the same page with Shedeur Sanders within the organization right now. And we're getting close to the draft, and they're going to have to make a decision here. Can they get one of those blue chip players at number 3? Can they come back and get a quarterback, whether it's in round 1 or in round 2? And I think one of the problems here for the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21, and any team that's considering trying to get a quarterback late is, let's remember right now who holds the opening pick on Friday night, the 33rd overall selection ahead of every team is the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
And they would figure to be in the quarterback market, so you're going to probably have to get in front of them, if they don't move up, to get a quarterback on Friday.
Greedy, that's what my instincts and experience tell me, is that there's not alignment, and here's why.
In the Giants organization.
In the Giants, yes.
No consensus is the word that he used in the organization.
And here's why, Greeny. All these other teams, 31 other teams, their draft board set. You're working on strategy. You're working on late information coming in, security, medical, whatever it may be. You've had 18 months to evaluate Shedeur Sanders, like him, love him, whatever it may be. The fact, guys, that we're making this transformational organizational decision, which you knew you were going to be responsible for on or about January 2nd, and we're sitting here on April 17th, still going out. You've had 18 months of information. It tells me that head coach may like quarterback X, the OC might like quarterback Y, and EJ, you know that when you're coached as a player, you feel it when coaches believe in you. Absolutely. And to me, Greeny, my experience tells me the reason they're doing these late, and Adam, I know they did that in the past, it's highly unusual, and they're looking for alignment.
Quickly, if I may, you're talking about the coach may have one opinion, an offensive coordinator may have another. There are other people who weigh in on these things too, aren't there? Which is to say, it's not just the coach and the offensive coordinator who have a voice on all this, right? You've got a general manager who spoke yesterday. We'll hear from him in a minute. And you've got an owner who has been very publicly two things. One, aggravated, and two, insistent that we will get our quarterback in this draft.
And sleepless too, Greeny.
He's been sleepless.
Greeny, in our draft room, we had a sign, "In God we trust, for everyone else we need data." And when you have the privilege of running an NFL team and you're sitting between the head coach and the owner, you want to have alignment. And if you have disagreement, you watch more tape, you do more research. But to me, context here is everything. The Giants knew where they were picking in January. Your board should be set way before now. The fact that you're out looking at these guys so late in the process goes back to the word that Adam used. There's probably not alignment. And again, the bigger the decision, the more alignment you want.
Okay. Let's think about it from this lens, though. So what if the Giants are bringing in all these quarterbacks and working them out this late in the process because maybe they take one in the second round and they get that third pick and they take Travis Hunter or they take Abdul Carter? Because in my mind, that's who you have to take. This is a year where the Giants have to win. They have to win early in this season as well. Brian Dable understands the situation. He understands Saquon Barkley went to the Eagles and won a Super Bowl. Daniel Jones, it didn't work out. Now he's on another team. So at this point, do you really want to put that third pick value into a quarterback? Whereas you can take one of these stars at that third spot and then maybe get your guy at the second round, or you trade back and try to get some more added value. When I watch this kid play, guys, in college football, you have to take Travis Hunter at 3. Yep. I'm sorry, because look, if you look back 5, 10 years from now and you take a quarterback, and even if he plays 8 years, that's awesome. But this dude can be all pro. This dude can be all world. He's great on offense. He's great on defense. You have basically 2-1 when you draft him at that third spot. So again, if he's there, it's hard for me not to take him at that spot. I don't care what the owner thinks.
Well, the draft is all about value. And so do you believe that the value is Shedeur Sanders at 3, or do you believe you can trade back up, or do you believe that he's going to slide far enough that you can wait? And again, it just brings us back to Shedeur Sanders being the single most intriguing storyline of this draft and where he winds up going, and the storyline that we'll be discussing a week from tonight in Green Bay, because it's going to hang over the draft until he's off the board, whether that comes at 3 to the New York Giants or 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's going to be the story that we're going to be talking about.
That is a wide delta. I mean, look, can we just consider, I've been hosting the draft for 5 years. I've been watching the draft all of my life. I can't remember the last time we looked at a quarterback and said, well, he might go 3, and if he doesn't, then he'll probably be available at 21.
But hold on. Yes. I can give you an example. We give you many examples. It happens more often than you think. Aaron Rodgers, projected to go number 1, slides to Green Bay.
But my point is, no one was saying he might go. He might slide to Green Bay.
We were saying he's going to go number 1.
They were saying that we might wind up with Aaron Rodgers being available for Green Bay in the 20s. That's what I'm saying. Is I feel like no one can
make a quarterback though, Green. That's the other part as to why that is such an outlier. You go 3 through 21. Nobody else really needs a quarterback beside New Orleans in that spot.
If you love a quarterback, every team needs a quarterback. See, this is what's insanity to me here. You're telling me the Raiders don't need a quarterback? Geno Smith is their answer for the rest of their lives? The Jets don't need a quarterback? Justin Fields is the answer for the rest of their lives? Yeah.
The Raiders traded a third-round pick for Geno Smith and signed him to a contract extension.
Right.
So when you're Pete Carroll and you're stepping in to win now, that doesn't seem like a quarterback pick at round one.
We're saying the same thing differently. What I'm saying is, if they loved the quarterbacks in this draft, they wouldn't have done that. They would have taken a quarterback. That's the point. All these teams need quarterbacks, and we don't think any of them are going to take them.
That's right, Gree. So let's put ourselves in Joe